Welcome back. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. How you doing, good folks of the algorithm? I hope everything is going well for you. Anybody who's looking forward to the holiday that's coming, if you celebrate Memorial Day, happy Memorial Day to you. All my military people, it's about to be Fleet Week. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Hope y'all do good. Be safe out there, right? Don't get in trouble. This is not the time to be getting in trouble, okay? I just want to put that out there. And let me just say hello to all the first coming people that came in and stopped by. Hi, Miss Jalen. How are you? Thank you so much, sis. I truly appreciate you being here as always. And hey, Michelle, how you doing? It's good to see you, sis. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a great Monday, a great start to the beginning of the week. Thank you guys so much. Oh, and Michelle was just received a membership to the Let's Talk About It community. Guys, I do have new videos coming out for the members, all right? So make sure if you want to be the first to see those exclusive videos and live streams for my members, you can go ahead and sign up. Miss Jalen put it on the list. And thank you so much, Miss Jalen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I do have 3 cases for you guys. Sorry, I'm starting so late. I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. I'm getting old. I'm getting old and I am getting tired, like very, very tired. I'm working all the time nonstop. So it really does take a lot for me to do these videos for you guys and spend the couple hours I do because it takes away from me resting. But I really do enjoy it. And I do enjoy being immersive and having a conversation and reviewing these cases with you folks, right? But soon I'll probably have a little bit more rest. My work schedule will be changing. I will be changing into a new schedule, which means that we will have new hours for these videos and cases. So stay tuned to that. I will update you guys on that change of when I will be going live going forward. Okay. Yeah. Time to rest. Yeah, time to rest. I'm just rest. What? I guess you rest when you're dead, right? You rest when you're dead. Okay, so the first case that I wanted to go over with you guys, and just make sure you're hitting the like button for me while you're coming in. Truly appreciate it. As I said, it helps the channel, keeps me in the algorithm. Please share this out to anyone who are interested in these type of cases. And if you do have a case that you would like me to review, please put it in the comment section after the video or after the live stream, and I can add it to my list of other cases that we can review on this channel, okay? Hi, Joanne. How you doing? Good to see you, sis. Good to see you. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a lovely Monday. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so the first case that we're going to go over is when a woman named Vanessa, it seemed like she had unalived her boyfriend, and we're going to look at the interrogation process. I thought it was very interesting. And shout out to the video essayist channels that I like to use their videos for these commentary. Shout out to Red Tree Stories. I'm definitely using a lot of their videos today. One of my favorites. You can please go ahead and check them out. They have very good videos. So let me go ahead and pull this one up for you, and then we can get started, okay? All right, share my screen, and here we go.
Antonio police officer discovered the body of Sam Johnson lying in a cemetery. An autopsy report showed that Sam had been shot 6 times at another location and then disposed of at the cemetery. The police began looking into who Sam was and who may have wanted to kill him. Sam had met Vanessa Cameron in 2007. And by 2008, they had a son together. In April of 2009, the home that Sam and Vanessa shared suddenly caught fire and was burned to the ground. The home was in Vanessa's name, and she received $300,000 from her insurance claim. Even though Sam lost everything he owned in the house fire as well, Vanessa refused to share any of the money with him. Because of this, Sam decided to end their relationship. Sam quickly moved on and moved in with a woman named Erica Bridgeforth, and soon Erica became pregnant. Life seemed good for Sam and his new fiancée, until 2010 when Sam's body was found. When the police spoke with Erica during the murder investigation, she told them that Sam's ex, Vanessa, had finally agreed to give him some of the insurance money. She explained that on the day Sam went missing, He had dropped Vanessa and his son off at the airport so she could visit a friend in Mississippi. Vanessa told him that she left the money with her sister, Susan Sutton, who she had been living with since the house fire. Erica tells the police that she talked on the phone with Sam after he dropped Vanessa off at the airport, but that was the last time she ever spoke with him again. The police wait for Vanessa to return from Mississippi, and they ask her and her sister Susan to come in for interviews. They begin by talking with Vanessa about her trip to Mississippi.
Bought the tickets on the 11th.
Okay, so you bought tickets on the 11th to go see your friend.
All right, so off the bat, that was quite alarming, right? You with this guy, he's living in your house. All of a sudden, your house goes on fire. You got a payout, a big payout for the house, the home insurance, but you didn't want to, I guess, share it or contribute it to the household. Then the guy breaks up with you. He starts a new relationship. He's actually going to get married to this woman, and he also has this woman pregnant. Now, miraculously, out of all that, you want to give him some of the money. And then you tell him that before you leave to go on your trip to go to see some family friend in Mississippi, I think they said. But you went to go see a family friend. You go on a whole trip. It does seem kind of strange that now all of a sudden you didn't want to give him the money when you were together, right? Y'all under the same house. Y'all in a relationship. You didn't want to share the money then, but now all of a sudden you want to share the money. I'm thinking there could have been a possibility that she could have been jealous, or it could have been a possibility that because she has I guess she was afraid that maybe he might ask for lower child support due to the simple fact since she already got a payout and she's also the full custodian of the parent. He could have asked for, hey, listen, I have a new family that's being started with a woman. I need to have a lower child support so I can also take care of my new family. Maybe that could be a possibility why she is a suspect. I mean, we all know that she's going to be a suspect because she was pretty much the closest one to him outside of his newfound fiance, but it doesn't make sense for his newfound fiance trying to unalive him before actually even getting married, right? Because she's not legally bound to him at all. So it's not a benefit to quote unquote set him up before having the baby or before actually becoming legally his wife, right? But now we can pay attention more to the ex-girlfriend or the mother of his child and see if she had anything to do with this. And then why did you let your sister know, right? Why did you let your sister know? Why did you leave the money with your sister? Why, if you was going to give him some of the money, why you didn't give him the money before you left to go on your trip? It just seems very strategic to me as into, oh yeah, well, go over my sister's house and she has it for you. And he goes over there and now all of a sudden he's ambushed. Because now I'm wondering, who else did you have this conversation with that you was going to give this money to this man that somebody knew to ambush him at the right time? But let's go on.
Yes.
Okay, and who's that?
Adrian.
Okay.
My friend Adrian. Mm-hmm.
And where does she live?
Mississippi. Yeah.
Tell me how did you find out about this then? Because you left on the 12th, and so how did you get word of all this happening?
Vanessa explains that while she was in Mississippi, Sam went missing, so she tried to contact him, but she was unable to. She even asked her sister Susan to message Sam, but she was unable to reach him as well.
But Sue said she hadn't heard from him and she just assumed he had been found.
Right.
Okay, that's the gist of it.
That's right.
Okay.
And I sent him a text. It was like 6 a.m. I said, hey, we're fixing to leave Mississippi. Then when I got into Atlanta, hey, we're here. Then when we left Atlanta, we're leaving, and there was just nothing. So by the time I touched down, I was just like, okay, we have to find Sam. And you know how many times I've called the police and how many times he comes and basically says I'm crazy, that he's just been hanging out or he was fine. And we are, separated. We are separated, so he doesn't have to call me. Erica called me yesterday asking me to do a release on his body. And that's when she said, you know, we're engaged to be married and I have his baby on the way. She told me that she had the last letter he's ever wrote, you know, stating that I don't know what the letter stated, but basically she was telling me that he had told her that they were done, that they were going to be together. And I told her, I said, well, you know, Sam never showed that to me. The last letter I got, of course, was on Tuesday before he left, which is him saying he wants us to be together and he's getting the apartment so we can have a roof over our heads.
So there's definitely a possibility that he could have been playing triangulation. Also, another reason why she was willing to quote unquote give him the money. But my understanding was that that wasn't her husband. I was under the impression that they were just living with each other, you know, cohabitating with each other, and they shared a child. She just said the word separated. We are separated. When you say the word separated, that means that you are legally married, right? And but then now she also said that the new fiance asked if she had to ask her, can she sign off to release the body? So I'm thinking maybe they were married. I could be wrong. Maybe they were actually legally married. But then that doesn't even help her case even further, right? Because if they're supposedly married and they're separated and he's playing two sides of the coin, telling you that he wants to be with you and get back together, but then he's all in a new relationship with a new fiance and a baby on the way, it gives more cause to, or I would say a motive why she did what she did, right? Maybe she found out about this new girl, this new woman that he's about to take as his fiance or as his wife. And she's figuring, if I'm the ex-wife and we're not divorced, right? We're not divorced. And you're telling me every other day that we're supposed to be together, but then you ask me for money. Like, how dare you ask me for money so I can fund your new lifestyle with another woman? That gives more motive and more intent. You see what I'm saying? But let's go on. Let's go on. Yes, it is a love triangle. Definitely a love triangle. Hey, Lord, how are you? I hope you're having a good Monday, sir. Thank you for stopping by.
And she's kind of been holding on to him. She's strange to me. She's strange. It's like she wants a relationship with him, and then he just gives her just a little bit, and then she'll accept that. And I'm just like, Sam did not care for this girl, and really, and I mean, we have to put it out there. I think she had something to do with this. I really, really think she did. Sam.
Okay, and what makes you think that Eric had something to do with this?
Because
why is it you suspect her?
Because, like I said, I think that she is obsessed with Sam. For someone to go on this long, their relationship was over, I know for sure, in 2007.
Again, so how is it you, I mean,
how
tell
do I
me, why do you
believe?
suspect her? I mean, what is it that...
Now she's all of a sudden in the picture. She's saying that she is his fiance, which is completely ridiculous. When she told me on the phone that she was having a baby, this thing really tore Sam up. Basically, I can't have children anymore. And Sam was tore up about it. He promised me he would not have any more kids. And I believe that she told him she was pregnant, and he told her that he didn't want that baby. I truly believe that.
Vanessa tells
this girl is lying to herself like many women do, right? Many women do, even myself, right? She's lying to herself. First of all, number one, Sam didn't give a fuck about neither one of you, okay? That's just be perfectly clear. He didn't care about neither one of you. He was using both of you, right? And it seems like he was using both of you for homes and your wombs, right? That's what and then when you got money, it was just a different level to it, right? But she's lying to herself, as in saying that this girl is just stalking Sam, and she's forcing the issue. Then she's trying to say that she's lying about the pregnancy. We just saw a picture of Sam hugged up on a pregnant woman, kissing her with a ring on her finger. that's not that's not this woman being delusional, right? Like whatever was playing in that relationship was actually what it is. And I find it very funny how she's more harped on this woman, right? But the incident happened when Sam went to go collect the money from your sister. It wasn't when he went. It was not like he was dealing with this new girl's family, friends, or anything, and then this transpired. No, he was only in contact with you. He took you and his son to the airport. You instructed him to go by your sister to collect the money, and all of a sudden he gets ambushed and he loses his life. And mind you, I tell you, you have to be very wary about when people go really hard to paint someone very bad and negative up front, because that means that they're withholding more information. So they have to put the narrative out there to make the person seem very evil, right? Very evil. And this is what we've been dealing with. But you haven't even dealt with this girl. According to her, every information that she was getting about this woman, she was getting it from Sam. Newsflash, Sam was playing both of you. Right? So isn't there even how can I put it? Isn't there a possibility that he could have been lying to you too, as well as lying to her? It's just really weird. It's really weird at this point. Let's see. Miss Jalen said, wait, what? Damn. Yeah. Broke guy. Yep. Let's see. Universe says, don't watch these kind of videos. Oh, no. I mean, we have to watch these videos. These videos is informative. Tiffany Dickerson says Sam must have had a magic stick because she's completely gone about her relationship with Sam actually was. Right. And it's funny too, Tiffany, because she wasn't even with him. She stated out of her own mouth. She said, we were separated. So if you're separated, you're not in a relationship with Sam. How can you say that he's not in a relationship with the other woman, but you said that y'all were separated? That means y'all not in a relationship. You're not dealing with each other. He wasn't staying at your house. So there goes that delusional part, because she still believes that she was in a full-on relationship with Sam, not also him not being in the house, him having a new woman that she was aware of, her finding about the news of this new woman being pregnant and them also getting engaged. She had all that information, but she's telling the story as if she was still in a relationship, a loving, healthy relationship or marriage with Sam. And that's not the case. So that she doesn't even understand that that is going to be a problem for her, right? Because I'm sure if I'm seeing it, the detective is seeing it, that you're literally painting it as you was in an active relationship with this man, but admitted that you were separated. Let's see. Let's see. Universe says, oh, we are watching because we like it. Oh, yeah, it's not for everyone. It really isn't for everyone. So I tell people, if this is not for you, and if you come across something that's trigger warning, go ahead and take a break. Go take a coffee break. Go chill. Do whatever you have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. Right, exactly. What her relationship actually was. Yeah, right, exactly. Let's go on.
Tells the detective that she believes Erica had something to do with Sam's death. What she doesn't know is that Erica has already been interviewed by the police, and she provided them with a very strong alibi. The conversation moves on to the money Vanessa gave Sam through her sister Susan after he dropped her off at the airport.
Do you know what time he went over there?
Sue said it's 7 o'clock.
Okay, Sue said 7 p.m. he went over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he got the money and you never heard anything about it?
I never heard anything. I can't even remember if I sent him a text message or anything. We talked at about 11 on Wednesday. Okay. And I told him, we did a lot of drinking this week with my girlfriend. So I was all, we were playing cards with my girls. So I, kind of got loud with him and told him, like, how you gonna go all day? You done got this money from me and then you gonna go all day without letting, without actually talking to me or nothing like that. And I was like, you know what, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
And that was the last conversation we had.
Okay. So I just need to ask you, because you understand, I mean, it's still a homicide investigation, right, and he is dead. And right. So I'm going to have to talk to, my partner's talking to Sue, so we just need to verify, that you have the same story. you last saw him Tuesday when he drops you off, and then Sue last saw him Wednesday picking up money.
Right.
Okay. And then how about Bernard? Did he see him on Wednesday when he dropped him off?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go ask my partner just to talk to and make sure that Sue and you statements are just, copacetic, coincide. And then I'm going to come right back and then we're good.
Okay.
The detective leaves the room while she waits for her partner to finish up with Susan. The detective spent the first 35 minutes talking to Susan about Vanessa and Sam's relationship. Eventually, the conversation changes to the day Vanessa told Susan to give Sam some money.
And then he was supposed to pick up some money that she was wiring to him.
She had told me she had told him that she was wiring it. Vanessa always gives me money. I either have a credit card or she takes money out, and I've always got it. I keep it in a safe, whatever, for anything that we need or to get done, whatever. So she had left money there.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And then so, she was just like, okay, well, I'm going to tell him to come and get the money. And I said, okay, well, whatever. What do you want me to get? How much you want me to give him? And she said, give him $340. So, okay, well, tell him to call me.
Sam shows up.
Well, he calls from outside, and he says, hey, I'm outside. I said, ring the door, but knock on the door. I said, they're down there. I said, I'm coming down. And he was like, okay.
Upstairs.
Yeah, I was upstairs. I'm always in the bed. Anybody talks to you, Susan's always in the bed. Every once in a while, I'm downstairs, but everybody usually playing pool.
So you
especially
told him
my
to
husband
go
and
to
them.
the door? Okay.
I told him, he was already at the door because I heard him
Okay.
knocking. I'm like, okay, Sam, and I hung up the phone. So I went downstairs, I gave him the money.
It was cash?
It was cash. I gave him the $340, and then he just said, I was like, are you on your way to, when I said, what are you getting ready to do now? And he was like, nothing. He's like, I'm getting ready to go home. He was like, I'm going to go ahead. I got to get up real early in the morning. He's like, I got to go take care of the apartment and stuff like that. And I said, okay. And then I told him to count the money. So he's counting the money. Yeah, so he came.
Out of the ordinary.
Yeah, he came, he got the money. And then he said, all right. I went upstairs. I actually did not see him leave. I'm nervous because I'm telling you
to be.
that I don't have, I go through different cycles in my life, with my head.
Did you murder Sam?
No.
Well, then you have nothing to be nervous about, do you?
No.
Okay, I mean, it comes down to that. It's that simple, Sue. Did you murder him?
No.
The same standards that your mama has for decency and taking care of people are the same standards that we have.
Right. My mom.
If you have no involvement in this case,
Yeah.
you have nothing to be worried about. You have nothing to be nervous about. All right?
The detective realizes that Susan appears very nervous, so she decides to try and bluff Susan. She's about to tell her that her sister Vanessa told the police that Susan's fiancé BJ Brown and BJ's cousin Lakeisha Brown called Vanessa while she was in Mississippi, claiming that they had just killed Sam by accident.
And again, I would ask you and your sister describe it for me extremely.
Wait, do I hear this right? The same woman, Vanessa, who was going so hard in the paint earlier about believing that her and Sam were still together and the other fiance was delusional. You mean to tell me that this woman had a whole man? She had a whole other man, a whole other boyfriend herself? And she's acting like this? So this is what I'm saying. Like, you have to make it make sense to me. You have a whole other man. You moved on. Sam moved on. You agreed that y'all was separated and y'all were just supposed to pretty much co-parent with the child. So why did you put Sam in this situation? And also, why are you talking about Sam as if y'all are still in a relationship trying to work it out? BG is your new boyfriend. Ain't you supposed to make things right with him? I don't know. I don't know. This is giving that real like delusion or jealousy that controlling, like she just believed that Sam belongs to her regardless. Yeah, I have a new guy. He ain't crap. but you still belong to me, Sam. Or I can't believe that Sam is actually, performing, behaving the way that I wanted him to behave and perform when we were together with some other woman, because it doesn't make any sense to me that now the detectives know that you're dating somebody else, but you was having a conversation with her saying that Sam's fiance is delusional and she lied to him and tried to trap him with a baby, and that y'all are still together even though y'all separated. I'm not understanding it. I'm really not understanding it anymore. But I'm going to look at the sister situation. She does seem very nervous. Do I believe that she unalived Sam? No. But do I believe that she know who did unalive Sam? Yes. Do I believe she knew that it was going to happen when, or luring him to her house to get that $350? Absolutely. And that's what she's nervous about. She's nervous of being put down as some accomplice. That's what she's worried about. Joanne said, "What was so special about Sam?" I have no clue. I have no clue. Let's see. Tiffany says she really didn't want Sam yet. She didn't want anyone else to have him either. Yes, and it's quite sad, really, because we usually tend to hear that type of, or see that type of mentality when it comes down to men over women, right? Because they just become very possessive over women, or looking at women as their property, or they own them. It's very strange when we see that in women, but I never said that women can't operate in that way. Women could, and obviously we see a prime example of that now. Let's go on.
Extremely close.
Yeah.
Often extremely close. Yeah. Because I want you to understand that I went and checked, because Vanessa's talking with Detective Bauer. Mm-hmm. And Vanessa's telling Detective Bauer that she received a phone call from BJ while she was at Adrian's house, mm-hmm. where BJ told her that he had accidentally killed Sam.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't.
She said that BJ had accidentally killed Sam. She said there was blood all over your living room. She said you were upstairs and had nothing to do with it. That Keisha smacked him in the head with a 2x4. That BJ and Keisha had to cut a piece of carpet out of the house. And they rolled Sam up and put him in the trunk of his car. She's telling Detective Bauer where the car was dumped, at an abandoned gas station over on the east side by Port. I'm telling you, girl, she's across the hall putting all of this on BJ.
Okay, I don't believe that. I'm ready to, can I go?
I told you when you came.
Okay, I'm ready to go, because I don't believe that. Thank you.
Do you think I'm making that up?
Yeah, I do. I really do, because why would she? No.
Well, if you want to sit down.
No, I'm good. I'm ready to go.
All right.
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
After Susan leaves, the detectives decide to try and bluff Vanessa the same way they did Susan and see what happens.
Well, let's just give it up for Susan, right? I mean, Susan did some talking. I would have preferred for her not to said anything at all, but she knew when she was being, they were pulling her leg, so she didn't take the bait, and she ended the interview at the right time. Smart woman. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Hey, how are you, Miss Cunty Bob? How are you? She said, let's ignore facts, right? She was like, I don't believe you. She said, I'm not playing that. Absolutely not. She was like, go on, goodbye. Not today, not today. Let's see when they try to play Vanessa now, right? Now we see that Susan was not willing to throw her sister under the bus or anything of that sort. But let's see if Vanessa shares the same sentiment when they try the same bluff on her. Here we go.
I just have 2 questions to ask you. Did you kill Sam?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know who killed Sam?
No, I do not.
Okay. I do know who killed Sam.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to know who that is? BJ killed Sam.
Why would you say that?
Okay, I know that BJ killed Sam.
Why would, I mean,
Hello,
Listen.
Tetron. I might be saying your name
I know
wrong.
he killed Sam.
How are you?
And I'm asking you to be truthful with me and help me solve this and tell me why BJ did it. Because listen, if I bring Sam in here, if I bring BJ in here and BJ tells me that you or your sister Sue had anything to do with this, then this is no longer not an arrest. Do you understand?
right.
So I need your help. And I'm asking you for the truth because I know what happened. You don't know what I know. And you're not under arrest.
Right.
But if Sam comes down here and he implicates you, you understand I have to do my job.
Right.
Now, when I bring BJ in here, what is he going to tell me, Vanessa?
I have no idea.
I know the last place that Sam was your house.
Right.
I already knew that. And I know who he was in that house with.
The detective knows that the last people to see Sam alive were the 3 people Vanessa was living with: her sister Susan, Susan's fiance BJ, and BJ's cousin Lakeisha. The detective is still not sure why they would want to kill Sam, but she believes all 4 people were
Messing up.
involved.
If you're worried about your sister, the only crime that your sister is even thinking about being charged with right now is helping get rid of Sam's body. I'm not looking to charge her for murder, but BJ may want to give her up and say it was her idea, or even say she did it and he was the one that helped dispose of the body. Your sister's only looking at nothing right now. She's in the same boat you are. She gets to go home when this is over with.
It's an
Are you sure you don't
interrogation
want to be
of
honest with me and
Black.
tell me so it shows that you're cooperating?
I'm telling you the story
Vanessa,
that I,
Okay, but
nothing you say today
I'm telling you,
Listen to me.
Yes, a universe.
Nothing you say
I do
today
watch it.
is going to cause you to get arrested.
okay.
Knowing that a crime happened and not telling anybody about it is not a crime.
Well, we definitely preach that here.
Simply
We
being
say,
present
don't talk.
when a murder
We
happens
say, I want my
does
lawyer
not make you
in the
guilty of a
discussion.
crime under Texas law. The problem that you're going to
Hi,
have
Corbin. Good to see
is
you.
if
Shout out
anybody
to
tries to
Germany.
implicate you and you don't get ahead of this train and tell us the truth, then we have no choice but to file charges on you as well. And I don't want to do that.
I am
And for
universe.
you to sit
have
here and
that
say you
right.
don't know only makes us think that you're involved.
I'm not involved. My sister, I asked my sister.
I know what your sister did. Your sister heard a noise. She came downstairs and she saw that her boyfriend killed Sam. And she panicked. And she tried to help her boyfriend cover it up. That is only disposing of a body, and it is not murder.
we even know that y'all went and tried to burn the stuff in Seguin. Not y'all, Sue and BJ. We know that.
If I thought you did this, Vanessa, if I thought you did this, you would be in handcuffs right now. Because you know we know everything there is to know.
This is
You
an
know
old,
it. Now
old
that
case.
we've told you
Black.
what we
This
have.
happened back
So if I thought you
in
did it,
2010.
I'd be arresting you. I wouldn't
2010, I
need
believe, yes.
any information from you because you know we know. But you know what happened, and you need to give us BJ and tell us what happened. Now, BJ is not going to know that you told us. I'm not writing anything down, neither is this detective here. When you walk out of here, you can tell BJ whatever you want to. He will be arrested as quickly as possible to protect you and your sister.
I got a text message saying Sam came to get the money. And then I missed it. I missed all of it. I missed the text message. I missed the telephone call. I missed everything. This would not even be like this.
She broke. She broke. So here's the funny thing. Now, like I said, I keep on mispronouncing your name, and I apologize if I am. But Tetra said, then how would she know, right? So again, If she was completely innocent and she didn't have no idea that this was going to happen, she wouldn't know what happened and what took place, right? But the simple fact now that it was able to continue to, talk her and condition her in, now she's like, listen, this is all I know. This is all the text message that I got. So now you knew what was happening and when you went away. And you didn't call 911, even if, let's say, for example, BJ, your sister's boyfriend, decided to unalive Sam on his own regard, right? Like y'all didn't tell him to unalive Sam. He just wanted to do it himself, right? Then once you found out or heard that he was involved or even your sister was involved while you're away in Mississippi visiting your friend, you need to call the police. You need to let them know, like, hey, something horrible just happened to the father of my child. I don't know what's going on. This is the text message. Please find out and tell me more information. And that would have cleared you. But the thing is, it seemed like now you covered it up. Like you did have an understanding that somebody in that house did something to Sam, and that's why your father of your child is not alive today. And it had to do with some of the money that you left him, and you didn't do anything. You pretty much covered it up. You knew what was going on and did not say anything. That makes you guilty. It makes you guilty. And the information that you give the prosecutors is going to make them believe that you was the one who set everything into play. You set Sam to get set up in that way to get the money. To get the money from your sister. You made sure that you was out of state, so you felt like you would not be implicated into it, right? Because you was nowhere to be found. It makes you look like the mastermind. And she's not realizing that. But look at her about to squeal on her own sister. She about to rat her own sister out. Let's see. He said these people sound slow. Yes, the detectives are tag teaming her. They are, definitely. And they're trying to use the guilt method. Do she feel guilty about it? And that she needs to save herself because she's a mom, and you don't want to be away from your child under some murder or homicide charge. It's insane. Hey, Southern, how are you, sweetheart? I hope you're having a great Monday. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let's see. Let's go on.
It would not be like this, but I missed the calls because I was just with my friends and family up in Mississippi. And if I could have just answered the phone, my sister told me, she said that they
When did she tell you?
the same day.
Same day it happened? What did she tell you?
She just said that that they were gonna teach him, stop messing with my sister, stop. We know that you're still fooling around, and you yank her heart around, and all the feelings that I've expressed to them.
Who was going to teach him a lesson?
BJ and his friend were supposed to.
Okay.
His little gangster friend. I didn't even know the guy. But apparently the friend wasn't there. Come to find out later, he wasn't there.
And what did she tell you happened?
She said he fell. She just kept saying that he fell. She wasn't there. She told me she wasn't there. She said, I gave him the money and I went upstairs. So even the story she told me, I don't even know. But when I came home, I said, what did he fall on? She said he just fell. I guess he got hit in the head with a 2x4 or something like that.
Okay.
And then she said that he was dead.
Girl. Hey, girl, Dad, how are you doing? I hope everything is well with you, sir. I hope you're having a lovely Monday. So she just admitted that she is the cause of this man not being here anymore. Here's my thing. Why are you having conversations with your sister's boyfriend about your estranged husband or the guy that you're separated from, right? He's in a whole new different relationship, fiance, having a baby on his way. And I understand it's horrible, especially if you thought you was going to spend your life together with this man and all the stuff like that. I get it. But you are the cause of this man not being here anymore. You are literally admitting that you had conversations with your sister's boyfriend, telling him about how this guy did this to you and all the stuff like that. And then he has the audacity to keep on coming to you, asking you for money. And you said that they were going to teach this guy a lesson for messing with you. that means that they were acting in your defense. They were acting off of what you told them to do. Did you not once tell them when he was like, oh, when they said, oh, I'm gonna line dude up when I see him? Did you once say, no, don't do that? Don't do that. He'll get his karma. It is what it is. He's not going to be able, to suffice long enough. Let things play out the way it was. I didn't hear you say that. So if you even knew that that was the mindset of BJ and his friend, that they was going to line your son of your father, the father of your child up when they see him, then why would you instruct your son's father to go to your sister's house knowing that she lives with the boyfriend that you had a conversation with, that it was going to line up Sam when they see him? And she's really not paying attention to that, right? You sent him over your sister's house knowing that the boyfriend wanted to go toe-to-toe or deal with Sam or offer your honor or how you're feeling. Yes, you are definitely involved in why Sam is not there. And you can't even you can't even prove that you didn't set this up, right? She can't even prove that, because now the things that she's saying, you had an idea that BJ wanted to handle Sam for you prior to you leaving to go to Mississippi. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see. She do all that and then squeal, make you look full of it. Yeah, it's crazy. Thorben said, why doesn't she have a lawyer with her? She's absolutely shooting. Yeah, she is shooting herself on her own knee. And this is what we always preach here at this channel. Whether or not if you're guilty or if you're really innocent, please go seek legal counsel. It's just better for you, okay? It's definitely better for you. Do not speak to these folks. Do not speak to these folks. Southern said, maybe they are besties. Ciao. Let's see. Miss Jayla said, my man ain't not fighting for no one. Exactly. Let's see. Southern Bro says she was on Diddy time. Take that. Yeah, she really was. Hey, Flower, how are you? It's good to see you, sis. I hope everything's well for you for this good Monday. Let's go on.
And I tried to hold it together, and I was just like, what did y'all do?
And what else?
Because it was just too much, because if I wouldn't have missed the call, they could have just called the police then and then figured it all out.
Who hit Sam with a 2x4?
The girl.
What's her name?
They did put tape over his mouth. They did.
Who told you that?
My sister.
And when they put mouth over when they tied him up, what did they do to him?
They beat him up.
And then?
They put him in the trunk of the car.
Whose car?
Sam's.
And what did they do to clean up your house?
Oh, I guess they cut up the carpet. They had cut up
guessing.
They cut up the carpet.
Who did?
My sister.
And they put that in the car?
I really don't know. When I say I guess.
Did she tell you they did?
Yes. I only talked to my sister, yes.
Okay.
I only talked to Sue. I never talked to BJ.
That's fine. And they put him in the trunk of the car, and they went where?
To Seguin.
And then, what did they do in Seguin?
They untied him.
And?
Talked to him.
And?
They killed him.
How?
Oh, they shot him.
With?
A gun.
Whose?
I don't know.
What caliber?
I don't know. She didn't say who actually shot him.
But your sister was there.
No. She stayed at home.
Your sister
Well, you
did
said
not
they
go see
untied him.
Yeah. She said her and that girl went. Him, BJ and that girl went.
Vanessa claims that after Susan handed Sam the money, she went upstairs. Lakeisha then knocked Sam unconscious with a 2x4, and then she and BJ put Sam into his own vehicle and drove away. When Lakeisha and BJ arrived at the place they planned on killing Sam at, they pulled him out of the trunk and shot him 6 times. Then they put him back into the trunk, dropped him off at the cemetery, and then hid his car at an abandoned gas station. Now that they know what happened, the detectives get Susan to come back in for another interview while they hunt down Lakeisha and BJ.
This woman, the Vanessa, she's a whole damn idiot. And she literally threw her whole sister and every one of them under the bus. And here they are doing all this for her. Here they are doing all of this for her and her ego, right? Because let's just be perfectly clear. The reason why Sam lost his life is because of her ego. Not because he abused her, not because he was going oops upside her head, not because he was being abusive to the child that they shared with each other. That wasn't the case. This man lost his life because of her ego. She could not accept that their relationship was over and that he had moved on with a new fiance, happy, and they were having a child, expecting a child. That's why he lost his life. We just have to be honest here. It's nothing else. I haven't heard once from Vanessa saying that Sam abused her. Not once. Because, normally that would be the trope, right? I had to get away because he abused me. He was harmful for me. But this is not the case. I will call people out, you know what I'm saying, if a man is abusive or even a woman is abusive. And it just seems to me that wasn't this situation. You was literally upset because he moved on and you wasn't ready to move on. You still wanted to be with him. That's why you said y'all was separated, but you still made it seem like he was dealing with you, and that woman was the burden. That woman is the woman that wouldn't let go. That was the woman that could not say no means no. And it wasn't the case. It was you. And then now you literally throw your sister and her man and this other girl under the bus after everything they did was for you. And then on top of that, what we saw was when she explained what happened to Sam, it was all intentional. So you know what that means, right? That's first-degree murder. It was intent. Everything was there. Intent, opportunity, and means. It was 3 of y'all against him, 3 against 1. Y'all had a weapon. He didn't. Y'all lured him to the apartment. She set it up for him to be lured there. And they all had intent of harming this man to teach him a lesson for messing with their sister. That's it all. That's all the prosecutors need to prove. They need to prove opportunity, the location, access, means, the weapon, the tool bar, and the gun, and motive. Vanessa was the motive. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But let's go on. Let's hear the rest. Let's see what Susan's about to say, since you just been thrown under the bus by your own sister. She told everything, and you are more involved than you try to let it to be that you was involved.
Hey.
You didn't want to talk with me anymore. You went out front. You had a chance to talk with your mama. You guys sent an officer to come get me because there is more that you want to talk about. Okay, so you do want to talk to me about
Yes,
this.
Michelle.
Yeah. Okay,
But you told my mom that
the difference between a capital murder and the abuse of a corpse, there's a big difference between those two things. One's a misdemeanor and one's punishable by the death penalty.
Because what I'm getting ready to tell you, there's so much more.
I'm all ears, baby.
But I'm so afraid because I know that after that, everybody, I don't know. I'm scared for myself.
Okay, start at the beginning.
I want to. I'm looking at you now as I want to. Okay, I want to.
Susan explains that Vanessa started the fire in her own home so she could collect the insurance money. Vanessa then moved in with Susan and her husband and began paying for everything. Soon, she would run out of money, but then Sam informed her he took out a $750,000 life insurance policy for his child. Vanessa knew she would be in charge of the money if something happened to Sam, so she devised a plan with Susan, BJ, and Lakeisha to have Sam murdered.
This is so unfair because I know she's gonna walk away.
Now I wasn't doing that for the comment. Yeah, I know I have huge boobs. It is what it is. Thank you. But focus on the case, not my boobs. Anyway, that makes even more sense. So I guess Susan has no, she has, what else does she have to lose now, right? Your sister tried to throw you under the bus, and you didn't throw her under the bus, but she was the first one to throw you under the bus to save herself. So now it even makes perfect sense. You burned your own house down so you can collect the money. And that's why he broke up with you, because he knew you intentionally burned your house down so you can collect the insurance on the house. And you didn't want to give him any of that money. So he was like, oh, since you want to be selfish and keep it all to yourself, then I'm not going to be in a relationship with you anymore. You deal with it and handle it on your own. And I'll just take care of my son. Then he ended up leaving. He ended up getting in a new relationship with someone who made him happy, and they ended up having a kid. But you knew about him having life insurance. You knew about him getting life insurance because now he's about to be a husband, right? He's not playing house anymore. He's about to be a husband, and he wants to actually, I guess, in a way, do it right or do it correctly, right? With this other woman. And you knew about the life insurance policy. So now when you ran through all your money, $350,000, after you were shacked up at your sister's house with her boyfriend and you paying all the bills, you just want to just reside there and go on trips and stuff like that whenever you feel like it. Now you ran out all the money and you wanted to hatch a plan so you can get more money. And you since you already angry and you already have anger and vitriol towards Sam because he didn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore and he was starting a new relationship, you well, listen, let's just let's take Sam out, and since I'm still legally bound to him, I can collect, or I'll be the first one on the first one that the insurance customers is going to come to me and say, hey, listen, Sam had this life insurance, and since you're legally still bound to him, it goes to you. It makes perfect sense now how everything played out, because I was just wondering, why did they go to the extreme to unalive Sam for this woman when she had never mentioned that Sam actually physically harmed her, abused her, or he assaulted the child, or he was molestation of the child. I didn't hear of any gruesome crime that Sam committed towards Vanessa or his own child. So why take him out the way that you did, right? Y'all set up and planned it all. You got him to the house, you hit him over his head, you removed the body, you had him tied up, you took him around to some place where you shot him 6 times, put his body back in his car and left his car somewhere. All of that was so planned out. It had to be for something else. And it just seemed like they wanted to get rid of him from the beginning. They wanted him gone from the beginning. It's really sad if you really think about it, really, because that's just disgusting. You do all that, you take your son's your child's father away from them due to the simple fact that you wanted money, not because he was a horrible, evil person that was harming you or harming him. No, it was just literally because you wanted money, and you also didn't want him to be happy with someone else either. So you was literally, what's that saying? I forgot the saying, but it's pretty much like solving 2 problems with 1 stone, something similar to that. Let's go on. That's just sad. That's really disgusting.
Well, let me tell you, Susan, I'm glad you decided to come back in here, because that's exactly what she set it up to be. That's why she was out of town. She was going to stick you and BJ with this shit, and then she was going to collect the money and be home free. That's why I told you earlier that I wish you would sit down with me and let me talk to you. That's exactly what she was planning on doing. Why else would she be out of town, Susan? So we couldn't prove that she had shit to do with it, and you and BJ and Keisha would be left holding the bag. So really, she wins if you guys take Sam out. She gets the life insurance policy, which is $700,000.
Right, Southern, yeah.
And her one witness to the arson is out of the picture now. You guys get blamed for the murder. She's in Mississippi. She's home free with the money and no arson hanging over her head. She wins, you lose. That's
So
what this is about.
Vanessa asked you to take care of Sam. Asked you and BJ to take care of Sam.
And told the neighbor across the street in the apartment complex that the gun they got from him was for Vanessa.
He knows that we got the money from her. He does. He knows about this.
And so BJ bought the gun he used from the neighbor across the street?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who shot Sam?
I believe BJ did.
Who did BJ tell you shot Sam?
BJ said that he shot Sam.
BJ said he did it. And Keisha didn't do it? But she was there. Okay. Vanessa has basically told us everything that you told us. Except for the part that she wanted
All
this
about
to
a
happen.
hustle.
I swear, I swear, I swear.
How are you going to feel when I go back in the room with Vanessa and tell her that I know that she planned Sam's murder and asked for it to happen? You going to stand up?
What do you mean?
Is it true?
Thank you,
Yes, it's
Joanne.
true.
Really,
Yes.
you
Be
really
okay if you
was
leave here?
strong. Thank you.
No, I'm not gonna be okay. And now I'm scared. I'm
Yes,
scared. I
thank
don't
you
trust
so much.
anybody.
It was
And I
on
may
the
have
tip
to.
of my
We'll
tongue and it
talk
didn't
about it
come
now.
out.
Let me go see.
I told you before.
I know,
I'm scared.
and
I'm
we're not just
scared.
gonna
The male detective leaves the room, and he goes back into the room that has Vanessa. His goal, at the very least, is to get Vanessa to admit that she knew about the plan to murder Sam.
We've talked to your sister. Well, Sergeant and Detective Miller have. And her story is not the same.
There's many
Is your
other
story.
reasons, but yes, that is
So
one
again,
of
we're
them.
going to start
That's
out
definitely
with,
one of them
are you
flowers.
sure you want to stick with that story, or do you want to tell us what happened? She told us that she called you while you were in Mississippi,
Right.
and you told her to go buy carpet.
You told her to cut up the carpet.
Cut up the carpet. I didn't tell her to
Okay.
go. Yeah, I didn't tell anybody to go buy nothing.
So you told her to cut up the carpet
Right,
and get rid of it.
right. And this is because they're telling me the body's already
I
gone.
try. You know how
Did you tell her
old.
where to get rid of
You
it?
know, you gotta give
No.
up for the old women
Nothing.
sometimes.
I didn't have
Woo!
anything to do with any of that stuff.
You asked your sister to kill Sam. And you asked your sister to kill Sam while BJ was there. And your sister agreed to kill Sam. And your sister and BJ, and actually BJ wouldn't let your sister do it, so he did it. So explain to me why you asked your sister to kill your husband. Why you called Sam and said the checks are at the house, go on
That
over,
doesn't make any sense,
knowing
sir.
that Sam
It's not
was
my
going to get killed when he
interrogation.
went over there.
We were all sitting around talking.
So what did you ask Sue to do?
It was just me and Sue.
Okay.
I was just like, it'd be better if he wasn't here. I really told him I
They
didn't
are.
want to be involved. I just told her. I was just like, that
You
would be too
Marcel,
stressful.
Thanks so much.
It would
Appreciate
just
So
be
you
too
didn't
stressful.
actually want to be involved. You wanted her to do it.
Well, she just said, I'll do it, I don't care, I'll do it, or whatever. And then, like you said, then she involved BJ because BJ,
Keeping her out of
Ooh,
trouble.
the
and
mom
you telling me
brain
the
be
truth.
killing me
What did she say she would
sometimes.
do?
oh,
How did
yeah,
she
she
say-
did say she
How?
would shoot him.
She would shoot.
She would shoot
Did
him.
you ask her to shoot?
I didn't ask her to shoot him.
Did you give her money to buy a gun?
I gave Sue money. I did give her money.
For?
A weapon, yes. I did give her money for the gun.
You sent Sam to your house under the guise of giving him
I don't
money,
look like that woman.
knowing that they were ready to kill him.
Yeah.
Vanessa is left alone in the interrogation room while the police search for BJ. When they find him, he is brought back to the police department and interviewed by a detective.
And I'm going to tell you that you have been implicated in this particular murder, okay? And I want to talk to you about it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Why is that crazy?
Because for one thing, I ain't got the guts to kill nobody.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Do you know anybody who has the guts to kill somebody?
Not that I know of, sir, honestly. I
Okay.
really don't.
Okay. Go ahead.
That's really not in my blood to kill anybody. My
Mhm.
mom raised me up to don't be like that. You know,
Mhm.
so that's not in my blood to do anything like that at all.
Okay. So you're telling me you've got nothing to do with this?
I have
Okay.
nothing to do with it.
Now, before you start going down that road, I want to tell you that your common law wife, Sue,
Mm-hmm.
and her sister
Hey,
Vanessa,
Bruce,
they've been down here
how are
talking
you? It's good
for
to see you,
about the
sir. How's
last 3.5 to 4 hours.
Yeah, I know they called
You
me
know?
and told me that they
Okay.
had to come down here.
They told us a story Okay.
They
They told us a story about what happened last Wednesday night at the house. Okay. Now tell me what you know about what happened at the house last Wednesday night.
Well, what I know, all right, Vanessa, she was in Mississippi.
Yes.
Okay. So, Sam supposed to came and got some money for an apartment.
Okay.
Okay. I guess he got a hold of my wife because I was downstairs playing pool.
Okay.
Me and my cousin Keisha. We was playing pool. She said Sam would be coming when he knocks. Let him in and call me. I'll come down. We hear a knock.
I can agree with that
I say,
statement.
who is it?
Southern. She wasn't
Say, Sam.
unattractive at all.
Open the door. He comes in. I can say, baby. I say, Sam's down here. She comes down.
Now, when you said baby, who are you talking about?
Oh, Susan.
Susan.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like baby, wife.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I call Susan. She comes downstairs. She gives him an envelope. I don't know what's in the envelope. I don't know he's supposed to be getting an apartment.
Okay.
And so she gave him the envelope. Then at this moment, he pulls out the money. He's counting it.
Okay.
But I don't know how much she gave him. He just said, okay, I'm gone. And he walked out. And he left.
Has Vanessa ever asked you to kill Sam?
No.
Has Vanessa ever asked Sue to kill Sam while you were present?
No. No, sir. Not at all.
Okay. Did you shoot Sam?
No. No.
Did your cousin Keisha shoot Sam?
No. Not at all, sir.
Okay. Well.
Over the course of the next 3 hours, 4 different detectives would try and get BJ to confess, but no matter how hard they tried, BJ's story remained the same.
Now, why am I being under arrest?
Because you were the one who shot and killed Sam.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well,
The question that we have, I understand. I don't care if you talk to us. I really don't. I'm here to decide what to charge you with.
You can't charge me with nothing. I have
Dude.
not done. No, look.
I can't.
I have not done nothing.
Really?
No.
Okay, hold on. I'm not asking you if you did it.
No,
I'm not
I
asking
don't
you.
care. I don't care. I'm telling you like I told you, I didn't do nothing. Sam bought me out of jail one time. Man,
And you know
come
what
on,
that tells
man.
me, BJ? Something horrible had to have happened to make you do what you did.
No, don't come here with that bullshit, man.
These women are not lying, baby.
How you know that?
All 3 of them told the same story.
How do you know
And
that?
tell me your story.
I told the dude my mother story.
It don't match anybody else's.
I don't give a f what they say. I know
Did
exactly.
Keisha come in here?
Man, I don't give a f about them right now.
Hope you enjoy jail, son, because that's where you're going. Now, and I'm going to tell you, look at me, because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to charge you with. I'm going to charge you with capital murder.
That's something I didn't even do.
God darn it, I don't like that, you know?
No, I don't. That's just. No,
It's just wrong,
that's
ain't it?
just y'all. But I'm saying, whatever they told y'all.
But the problem is, what you ain't understood yet, is the forensic evidence proves.
Yeah, but I have not done nothing.
Oh my God, so you just keep that up. You learned well. You
I
learned
from
well.
what I
Sure
learned
you did.
from.
Keep it up.
Well, I learned from.
Hang with that story. Hang with.
So, I mean, he's staying strong. They hit him with all different type of tactics, right? Now, whether or not if they have the actual evidence, that's that's up until like forensic and everything come back, because I don't even know if they even actually have the murder weapon. But they did seem like they had more of information. They knew exactly where the car was. I think that Vanessa gave that detail. She also let them know that there was a gun that was used. So they probably do have DNA of him probably being on the crowbar, or probably being on the gun, or even probably being on Sam's vehicle, which he will have to pretty much address. Like, why is your DNA or your fingerprints on Sam's vehicle, on the gun that was used to kill Sam, or on the crowbar? Why is your DNA here? If you said that Sam came and got the money, he counted the money in front of you, and then he left, right? I do want to take notice that yes, the whole crying and no man and all that stuff like that, you know, someone who is innocent and someone who is guilty would do the same thing, right? We have seen so many cases here where we had people who was completely guilty for doing the stuff that they did, and they still bawled out of control, crying hysterical, because in their mind they actually believe that they had the right to commit the murders or commit the homicide that they did, right? And then we had ones who didn't show no emotions whatsoever. So we always want to just keep in mind, like, even with the way how they react, a person react doesn't necessarily prove whether they're guilty or not guilty. It's more about what they say and how they say things, right? That's what you would really want to pay attention to. Because serial killers, like we talked about, serial killers, they don't have emotions, right? Their emotions are very mundane. The way how they feel about a wedding is the equivalent the way how they feel about someone's death. You don't see no range of emotions with them. And then a person who is a sociopath, their emotions go from highs and lows. It's like fluctuates constantly and consistently. And that's also what we're seeing here. But let's go on. Let's see if he finally breaks down and admits it, because that's what they want. They want him to actually admit it, because they already have Susan admitted her involvement. Vanessa admitted that she knew even though she was away, and that she also told them to do this to Sam. So now they just have to admit, BJ has to admit that he was the one who pulled the trigger, or give them the information of who did pull the trigger. Was it that other woman? I think her name was Letitia or something like that. Was she the one who pulled the trigger? Were you there? Like, those are other different different evidence that the detectives are trying to pull out of BJ now, because remember, it's always good to get a confirmation, right? Or a confession, I would say, because it makes it easier for the prosecutors. It makes it easier for not to have a mistrial in court, right? Because they have it clear as day on record that you said that, yes, I admit that I said this. I admit that I was involved in this way. It makes it very clear. Now, keep in mind, there's always opportunities for appeal, right? These individuals, they can say that they admitted because they was under heavy amounts of distress. They received legal counsel for someone who told them to say, to say that they were guilty and hope for a lesser sentence by admitting it. They can say those things where they can later on they can try to reach for appeal, but it still helps for them not to get a mistrial. But let's go on.
With that story, sometimes I enjoy losing. All right. Stand up, put your hands behind your back.
Despite never confessing, BJ was arrested and charged with capital murder. The police had one more person to interrogate, and that was BJ's cousin, Lakeisha. So they asked her to come in for an interview.
I mean, what can I say?
Well, tell me the truth of what happened, step by step.
I was playing pool. It was me, BJ, Zaya. We were playing pool. He knocked. I opened the door because I heard the knock. Because it was BJ's turn to shoot. So I was like, okay. I opened the door and I seen him and I walked away. I went back to the pool table because it was my turn. And then Susie I guess she gave him some money. She gave him something.
She gave him some money.
And I heard him talk. He said something, but the TV was going with the music.
Okay.
So I was like, oh.
Yep.
And I looked.
That too.
And all I remember was hearing him yell. And when I looked up, he was on the floor.
That's when you hit him with the 2x4?
I hit him? No, I didn't hit him. I wanted to hit him.
What made you want to hit him?
Because, okay, this is how it started.
Okay.
They had said, they was like, he beats women.
Okay.
But I never seen them when they were talking about this. They never said no names, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then I was like, well, whatever. And then when he came in, what's a 2x4? Hold on.
A board.
Okay. When he walked in, he said something smart. After he had got the money, he said something smart. I was like, what?
I'm not having that, yeah.
And he said it again. And all I heard was, I'll slap the shit out of you.
Who was he talking to?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't on the phone.
Okay.
When I looked up, he had like, his back was like this to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what? And then after that, I was like, oh no, you ain't finna talk crazy to me. But he's so big, so I was scared. And I was like, ooh, I was shaking. Then I hit him with a board. It was a small board.
Okay.
And then that was it.
He went down?
No, he started like going forward. He didn't go down. He did not go down.
Okay.
He just kind of like went forward.
Plywood.
And then that was
Bruce,
it.
2x4 plywood.
So I was like, okay. And I left it alone. And then they put handcuffs on him.
Who did
BJ.
that? Okay.
He put the handcuffs and the rope. And he was like, Sam. I was like, Sam, why are you saying no BJ? He's like, no BJ, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Oh my God.
What the hell is going on here?
And I just froze for like that few minutes. I was like, oh my God. But I hit him because he made a threat. That scared me. All that other stuff, what they got going on, I don't know about.
So did you put the tape on his mouth?
Oh, because yeah, after he said, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember.
This should be very no, I hope you're not. This should be very vivid in your mind because you've participated in a murder. Now I'm hoping that you haven't done this on a daily basis, that it would be hard for you to recall.
No.
Okay.
It's just I have bad memory.
Okay, you should be able to remember this.
But I'm just replaying back that time.
Okay.
And then, because
he was hollering.
He was hollering. He's like, no, BJ, no. He's like, don't kill me. After he kept saying that. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, I'm gonna put some tape on his mouth because he was like, he's like, when I get loose, he kept saying he was gonna beat me, like kill me. So I got scared. So I put the tape. And that was it.
Okay.
I couldn't do nothing else.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I couldn't do nothing else.
Okay, well, there's a little bit more that you did, and we need to talk about that.
Like what?
What happened after he got all tied up and the tapes on his mouth?
He was put in his trunk.
Who put him in his trunk?
BJ.
All by himself?
Yeah, because I didn't do it. And then after that, BJ like kind of dragged him to the door. And then he was like, oh, I'm stuck, help me. And then I helped him just a little.
That's okay.
To lift. And then after that, because I dropped him. And then BJ put him in the trunk.
BJ drove Sam's car, and you followed behind.
Say no to drugs. Just say no. Say no to drugs. Okay? Because I don't understand what this girl thinks she's doing. That's helping her. And she's literally contradicting herself every single time she talks. I didn't help him, but then I helped him a little bit. I didn't hit him with the 2x4, but then I did hit him with the 2x4, a little one. I hit him with a little 2x4. Like, I didn't have nothing involved with what they was going on, but I knew everything because I was actually there. And yeah, I mean, I did help I did help tape him up too, right? Like, girl, just say no to drugs. Just say no. Just leave it alone. Leave that lace shit, K2. I don't care. Marijuana. I don't care. Whatever the hell you doing, millie popping, mopping, dropping. I don't give a fuck. Leave that shit alone, okay? Because my God. Let's go on. That just like drove me insane right there. Like I don't even understand.
In Richard's car. And y'all went out to Richard's house. Okay, and what happened when y'all got out there?
Back like that, my back was to him, and next thing I knew, I heard the gun go off.
How many times?
9 times.
Y'all went back over to the house, Keisha, and got the carpet up, right?
No. That wasn't until we went to Seguin. Susie ripped that carpet up.
Okay.
Because when we got back, she had that ripped up.
Okay.
And she says, we need to throw it away.
Okay.
And I didn't know, because I was like, why do I have to burn my clothes for?
Okay, so he burned his clothes and yours?
Mm-hmm.
But what were they saying? I mean,
They were just anxious, like, oh, the money, you know, we're gonna get money. We're gonna get money. And I'm like, okay, what money? And they just said insurance money.
insurance. You didn't hit this man in the back of the head with a board because he talked smack.
He was talking noise.
You did
At
it.
first they told me this.
What did they tell you?
told me, Keisha, when he come in, hit him. I told him no, I wasn't gonna do that.
Okay.
And then they was like, just do it, just do it, just do it.
Thank you. That
And
sounds
then
much
I
more
was
like the truth, baby.
then I kept saying no, and then I was like, no. But then he started talking noise to me.
No, he didn't talk no damn noise to you. He was there to pick up money. You did it because you love your
hold
cousin.
on.
I get that.
Yeah.
But please don't try to tell me
No, but
that
I
you did
wouldn't
it.
lie to you because I wouldn't want you to lie to me.
Okay, but I'm thinking you're not quite telling me the truth, that you hit him because he was talking noise to you. You hit him because BJ asked you to and you love your cousin.
Yes.
Thank you.
But no, I was just saying he just said his little remarks too.
Okay.
But
BJ asked you to hit him when he came in the door. This whole thing was planned before he got there.
actually it wasn't.
Oh, actually it was.
No, when I'm just saying like how I went step by step, like what I told you. But other than that,
It was very much planned with BJ and Susie.
It's both.
In the end, all 4 people would be charged with murder. Prosecution believed that Vanessa was a mastermind behind the murder, and she was able to convince the other 3 to kill Sam by promising them large amounts of cash. Lakeisha and Susan would accept a plea deal. In exchange for their testimony against Vanessa, Lakeisha received 20 years while Susan was given 25 years in prison. At Vanessa's trial, her story changed again. This time, she claimed that Sam asked her to take his life because he wanted to provide for his child. The jury didn't buy her story, and she was found guilty and sentenced to 75 years in prison. BJ was the only one who did not implicate himself even under extreme police interrogation. BJ took his case all the way to trial, and due to the lack of evidence, the jury found him not guilty. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you believe the 3 females attempted to set up BJ, or was he involved all along? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
So yeah, I definitely believe that those 3 women plotted to get rid of Sam, and they wanted BJ to have the fault. I mean, like I said, there was I do believe that BJ was probably there, whatever not, but I don't necessarily believe that BJ did all that. Right? I do believe that the last girl that we were just talking to, the Lakeisha girl, I think she did everything. She's the one who admitted that she hit him with the wood. She's the one who admitted that she put tape on him. She was the one who admitted, yeah, I helped a little bit to put him in his car, struggle to put him in his car. She's the one who admitted to actually doing these things. Whereas BJ never admitted anything. He never admitted that he did nothing. He said that he saw him count the money, and then he left, and that was it. And I really do believe that those women did try. They wanted BJ to literally take capital murder. They really did. They was like they all plotted it out that the Lakeisha girl is the cousin to Vanessa and Susan, and they wanted that money. They wanted that money, and then this man is not alive. He can't enjoy his new fiance. He can't enjoy his new child or even the present child that he had because of your pure jealousy and spitefulness, and also money hungry. Your ego and you being money hungry because you have bad financial literacy made you take the father of your children life. That's just crazy. That's really weird. But you know what? That's what some people are doing today. That's what people are doing today, which is quite sad. Quite sad. Let's see. All right. So the next case that I have for you today, and make sure you're just hitting the like button for me. It truly helps the channel, and share this out to anyone who might be interested in reviewing these type of cases. Truly appreciate it. And also everyone who's keeping it cool and cordial and respectful in the chat. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Like I said, as long as you do that, you're always welcome here. So the next case that I have for you is about a raging alcoholic. I think this is another woman who unalived her boyfriend. This happened back in 2020, and as we know, the times that we was in lockdown, there was a lot of DV cases going on at that time, right? People started to find out that they didn't really have anything anything to connect with their significant other with outside of sex, and that going to work or being able to go to the gym or having other social outings pretty much what made their relationship works. And when people started to actually cohabitate and be with each other 24/7, they realized how much they did not have in common, that sex was or lust was the only thing that brought them together, and they started becoming very violent against each other. So we're going to look at this one. Let me go ahead and pull the stream up. And here we go.
20. Rebecca DeLeon was arrested and charged with intoxication manslaughter after she struck a man with her car while she was severely intoxicated. What the police didn't know when the incident took place is that she actually knew the victim, and not only were they lovers, but they were first cousins as well.
Do you remember the night of the incident?
Somewhat. I mean, I just remember just crashing there by the Wells Fargo Bank. I remember that.
Hey sis, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. How are you this Monday?
And then I remember that the arresting officer said she was taking me in for a DWI. That's pretty much what I remember.
What were you doing before? Do you remember what you were doing before? Well, let's go back a little bit. How did your day start? How was the events during the day?
It started good. It really started good. Went for a walk, just enjoyed my day, and I was gonna get ready for work. And
Where do you work?
I was working at Wingstop.
Okay.
And
yeah, you know how
what
they
time
went.
usually go in?
Usually I was supposed to be there at 3. So usually like 3, 4, or 5, and then close or whatever.
Okay, then.
And of course, I just started drinking that day before I went to work. I had like 2 beers.
That was about 3 o'clock when you started drinking?
It was around close to 2, around 1:45. I was gonna drink a couple before I got started getting ready.
You take any medication or anything?
No, I don't take no medication.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
And then, so first going to work, and Bandera was closed off. So, I just went back home. Whatever, and I told my GM I was going to be late because it was closed off. And, I stopped the store, got me another one. And then after that, I just started drinking from there more.
So you didn't go to work after all?
I didn't go after all, no.
Rebecca claims that she started drinking around 1 p.m. and continued drinking until it was time for her to go to work. At some point, she decided she didn't want to go to work so she could continue drinking into the night.
And was anybody with you when you were drinking?
No, just by myself.
Where were you drinking it?
In the car.
Where'd you?
And then I went to the park, Rivergate Park, drank there.
So, what happened after that?
Now I like Wingstop too. I like Wingstop. It's okay. It was okay. Oh, you never heard of Wingstop, Bruce? Yeah, it's okay. I like Wingstop. So why was she drinking before going to work? Like, that's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, drinking before you go to work, that means that, you probably do have a problem. I remember there was people who used to drink beer before, doing anything. Like, they would drink a beer or have to have a nice cold one before even brushing their teeth. And if it gets to the point where you have to have your vice as soon as you get up early in the morning, then you have a problem, right? Before brushing your teeth, washing your face, before you do anything else, before you even put food in your stomach, you have to, have some of your vices. You have an issue. You have an issue. You might need to go see somebody, right? You have to deal with that. But I think that that's really weird that you knew that you had to go to work. You started drinking, you having you're already having like tension between your boyfriend. And then 1 minute you're not drinking, 1 minute you're not going to go to work anymore. Well, you knew that you wasn't going to go to work because that's why you was drinking the way that you were drinking. So I'm thinking, could it be a possibility that you were setting up to have a whole long drawn out argument with your significant other at home and that's why you started to drink? Because if you really wanted to just get out the house and go to work, because I'm thinking she must have been like a first responder, right? So you had to be out there working and you didn't want to go out there either. You wanted to stay home and get mad, and maybe the argument led to that the person that you was with, they had a job that didn't require them to have to be out there to be a first responder, or they got laid off. So you didn't like the fact that they were sitting in the house where you had to go out there and face what was going on during the lockdown situation. That's what I'm getting, a little sense of like, angry about that you had to still work and you wasn't at home like majority of the people were at that time. I'm thinking that's part of it. But let's go on. Well, let's see. Hold on. Dr. Darnell said she was drinking some courage. Yeah. Yeah. That was her, get her some courage of what she had issues about.
After that, I just started driving around drinking.
How much of?
To tell you the truth, I don't.
And when you said you bought a beer?
Because I usually buy two, because you have two for $4, 2 for $4.
Oh, the singles or?
Yeah, the singles, the 24.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody? Had anybody try to contact you or?
That's bad.
No.
I understand you have a daughter?
Yeah, I have a daughter.
Where was she when all this was going on?
I think she was at home.
Was anybody else at home with your daughter? Anybody?
No, I think she was by herself.
How about, I understand your grandfather passed away? I'm sorry for my condolences. I'm sorry, your dad, I'm sorry. That's okay.
I guess maybe that's why I just was drinking.
As you know, we have access to records and so on. And apparently, you've been arrested before for DWI.
Yes, sir.
And we'll get back to where you were with you were at Renka's and you were drinking singles.
I got my Tennessee folks in here. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Dirty South.
Just driving around, and I guess I finally, I don't know what time it was. I wasn't paying attention or anything, and I just went home. I was going home already. I was already going home. And I live right there where the accident happened.
Okay. Here's what we got, Rebecca. And we're not judging you. We're not thinking any less of you.
Thank you.
Bad things happen. Believe me, I've had family that has had legal issues, and I sympathize with you. I know you're going through a lot right now, especially with all these things with your dad and not talking to your daughter and so on. During our investigation, we found out that there's somebody else that's living at the house there as well. And I'm just going to suggest, I'm not going to tell you what to say. I'm going to highly recommend to you that if you're deceitful or if you're holding stuff back, and we have proof to show that you have been deceitful, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. My suggestion is to get ahead of this. I would recommend being as honest as possible. There was a terrible accident. Okay. Unfortunately, somebody was injured really, really badly.
I didn't know that.
At this point, Rebecca claims she doesn't remember hitting someone with her car. Before being interviewed, Rebecca stood before a judge and was told that she is being charged with intoxication manslaughter. Rebecca either doesn't want to accept what she has done, or she doesn't understand what the charges mean.
They didn't tell you about the accident?
No, they told me that I was being arrested for DWI. They didn't tell me I hurt anybody. They didn't tell me anything like that.
When you were charged at the mayor's office, do you remember being told by a judge having read your rights, they read your rights and they tell you what the charges.
Yeah.
Remember that?
But then when I got arrested, they said I was being arrested for DWI. That's what they had told me. And then when I came and I saw the judge or the attorney, she said that they got me for intoxicated.
At that point, did you realize that you hurt somebody?
I guess it didn't snap, or I guess.
Girl, what are you talking about? First of all, you need to get a lawyer. But second of all, the simple fact is that you already had a DUI on your record. That means that you have done this before. You have, driven under the influence. And then you decide to do it again. And you're telling me that you didn't know that you hit someone or hurt someone? Oh no, you do acknowledge that you hurt someone. You just said, I didn't think I hurt them that bad. She just said that herself. Let's go on.
And
Do you understand why you were charged with that? Did it tell you?
You ran her boyfriend over.
Well, I guess I hit somebody.
Yes, ma'am, you did. And I think what you're holding back, and like I said, I'm not saying this in a bad way or in a mean way.
Yes, Scott, we preach it the whole time.
You're not telling us about, it was Carlos, does the name Carlos Cifuentes ring a bell?
The detective mentions the name Carlos, who is not only the victim, but her cousin and boyfriend as well. At first, the police believed that her victim had been a random pedestrian, but when they looked at her prior police reports, they realized that her charges could be changed to murder.
That's what, and you know.
He was there with me.
Okay, is there any reason you wanted to keep that from us?
I was just scared.
There's no reason to be scared, Rebecca.
I'm scared because it was my fault, and I don't want to blame anybody else.
I understand.
This woman is not black.
I don't know.
And you're not sticking up for people who do dumb
Well, take a second and realize that all we're trying to do is get to the conclusion of this. And that way, the sooner you can put this behind you, the sooner you can start the repairing process and dealing with the issues that are going to be coming up because of this. If you haven't read your rights, you don't have to talk to us. But if we can show that you were cooperative,
this is our second time, Lord.
It would go a long way for you. And this thing about keeping Carlos from us, it's gonna be hard to understand, or we're gonna have to. Whenever you tell us, we're gonna have to think, well, is she holding something back still? So what I'm asking you is that you can be totally honest with us. This isn't going to go anywhere. Nobody else is going to see it. It's just going to be in our investigation. Okay? Unfortunately, there's consequences to that, and you will face them. But as I mentioned, if you're cooperative, it goes a long way for you.
Yes, sir.
It goes a long way for you because it's pretty much there's no doubt as far as we have, because there's all kinds of evidence.
The person that I heard, is he okay, or?
You didn't know.
Yeah, I agree, Dr. Darnell. He said playing crazy is not a legal defense. Shutting up is. Yes, that is absolutely right. Because this is what a lot of people lead with. They think that they can say, I had a lapse of a moment, fit of rage, and they'll try to explain themselves away that, this is not me. This has never been me. And even if you've never been, convicted of doing this before, that doesn't mean that you never had signs that you could possibly do something like this. It's all we're only witnessing is that you just got caught, right? This is what these type of interrogations and interviews are just showing you. These people are getting caught for a particular crime, a particular incident. That doesn't mean that there are career criminals, and that doesn't mean that they're not career criminals, right? This doesn't mean that they never performed this before. So we have to look at it with an open mind, right? We have to look at it as an open mind. Someone, just because they never got caught on paper doing anything else, doesn't make them any more innocent than someone who has a whole background of being caught of, doing something But at that particular incident, they didn't do it. Let's go on.
No, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
Have you talked to a lawyer?
No, I haven't talked to anybody yet.
It appears that Rebecca does not understand her charges, and she believes that Carlos is still alive. The detectives decide not to tell her that Carlos is dead, because they believe she may stop cooperating with them.
Where did Carlos fall into the day with you? At what point did you and Carlos have interaction during that day?
It's kind of like the whole day.
You were together? Were you all drinking together? And was he with you throughout the time at the, well, when you said you were driving around and drinking, he was with you during that time?
I don't know. I think he was there with the night when I had the accident.
I think he was he in the car with you? Was he in the car with you before the accident? Okay, Rebecca. I don't, please forgive me if I might seem rude, but I think you're holding back. I think you're not telling me exactly where Carlos was when all this stuff.
He was with me.
At the time of the accident.
It's crazy because she acting like she doesn't remember because due to how drunk she was. But you do remember. You know who was there, you know who you was with, and you know that you hit somebody. Because that's why you initially said earlier, I didn't know it was that bad. Now you're acting like you didn't know that you hit someone. You telling me this whole entire time that you got reined in on this, that nobody or not even your legal counsel or public offender didn't tell you that you hit a person? Like, this is insane. It's the way how she's carrying on, and she really do believe that they don't see that you are withholding information. They are afraid that she will close up because what they want from her is a confession, right? They want a confession, and they also want to find out, did she hit Carlos, her boyfriend, intentionally, right? Because they want to make sure that she gets the right charges, right? If she intentionally hit him, then it's a different case, right? It's not just vehicle manslaughter, right? It would be actually homicide using a vehicle. But let's go on.
I think he turned the wheel.
He what?
I think he's the one that turned the wheel.
He turned the wheel?
Why? I think he's the one that turned when I was driving. I think he grabbed the wheel and he turned it.
And you think that caused the accident? Was there anything else y'all were maybe taking during the time y'all were drinking?
What do you mean, like drugs?
I mean, like drugs or anything, smoking or?
Well, no, we never did drugs, never. All I did was drink. I don't know. I mean, I can't say about him.
I was trying to skip over that too. Like, I heard it, and I was like, I wasn't sure that I heard what I thought I heard, but.
I mean, we were just drinking.
Did y'all have an
Hey,
argument?
Sophia, how are you? I hope you're having a great Monday, sis.
To tell you the truth, we might have had an argument. We were always arguing.
Arguing about what?
Stupid stuff.
From what we can gather and the information we developed, y'all had a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And like I said, we're just trying to complete our investigation. We're not judging you. We're just trying to put it all together, and hopefully we can deliver an investigation that is going to show that you're being cooperative and you're remorseful. But for some reason, if they feel like you're being deceitful, and we're only going to report what we know, and if we don't know everything, and it goes to court and stuff comes out, it's not usually good for you. But so do you want to explain to me your relationship with Carlos?
Yes.
According to police reports, both Carlos and Rebecca had been arrested once before for public indecency. Someone had called 911 stating they saw a couple having sex in their car. When the police arrived, They found Rebecca slumped over the steering wheel with her pants around her ankles, extremely intoxicated. Her cousin, Carlos, was sitting in the passenger seat holding a beer. This police report is what led police to believe that Rebecca may have intentionally killed Carlos.
So, get it back to when you say you think he turned the wheel for you? Why would he turn the wheel for you?
He just threatened to do that before.
Okay.
Was he, where were y'all coming from?
I was going to.
I can't unsee it now. Like, not you smashing your first cousin in the car, yo. Like, is it that bad? Like, is it that bad that you gotta smash your first cousin? My head hurt. My head is hurting. My head is hurting so bad. Like, now I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it now. It's stuck in my head. It's burning through my skull right now. Let's go on.
Towards Bandera, and he turned the wheel, and that's when I lost control of my car, and I just went straight on to wherever I hit. And then after that, I don't know where he went.
And he was in the car with you. Now, when you came to stop, when you finally, the car finally stopped, what did you do after that?
Nothing. I was, I was like, Carlos, Carlos, looking for him, and and I just stayed there because I didn't want to leave. I don't know where he went. I don't know.
Did you tell the officers about Carlos being with you?
I told him that I was by myself.
Because?
I was just scared.
Okay, I was scared of?
I was just scared. I didn't want to get anybody in trouble.
I guess it's acceptable for people who like to do that, but
like him, he's wanted. So
is he wanted? Okay, now he was in the car with you before the accident. He had the accident. Does he grab the wheel? And you say when he grabbed the wheel, did he grab the wheel toward himself or away from you?
I don't know how he did it. I just know that I think he grabbed it, and then when he grabbed it, I just lost control of the car.
And why did he grab the wheel? What caused him to grab the wheel?
That I don't know. Maybe we were arguing or something, or.
Rebecca, you know whether you're arguing or not. You got to know. You got to understand.
I was a little intoxicated.
They're not this thing you're saying is that I don't know. Well, maybe I really think you do know. That's my personal opinion. Okay, I've seen people that have been intoxicated unless it's total blackout, but you're not talking about a total blackout right now. And like I said, please don't be deceitful because, like I said, they're gonna get what we move forward. We need to know as truthful as possible.
Like, they understand that she's being deceitful. Girl, you're making up stuff now. You're saying that Carlos grabbed the wheel from you and you lost control. Is it because you were drunk? So again, if that's the case, if he grabbed the wheel from you, y'all was having an argument, he was in the car with you, you was driving recklessly, how did he get run over? How did he get run over? How did you run him over? That means he got out the car at one point, right? And you decided to run his ass over and you ran off? Like, or was it done on purpose? But the simple fact that she's trying to make it seem like she doesn't know, but then you're trying to say, oh, I don't know, he just kind of grabbed the wheel from me and stuff like that. But you're leaving out so much other details that led to the point where he had to grab the wheel from you. That's why it doesn't make you, seem like you're telling the truth. Because it just doesn't come out of nowhere that y'all driving with each other, y'all drinking with each other. You know you're not supposed to be drinking and driving. You know that, right? Especially with your record having a DUI on it already. Then all of a sudden you're arguing with each other and he's literally grabbing the wheel. You lose control. And even till this day right now, she still don't know that Carlos is the one who lost his life. She knows, or she admitted that she hit someone after the detectives told her that someone got harmed. But she doesn't know that Carlos was the one that got hit, her supposed boyfriend, first cousin, and he's no longer living. She doesn't know any of that. This is crazy. It's getting really, really bad. Let's go on.
Yeah, I'm trying to say that.
Rebecca claims that Carlos was inside the vehicle when the accident occurred, but the police know this is a lie. Carlos had been walking on a sidewalk when he was struck by Rebecca's car, so they know that at some point he got out of the vehicle, and Rebecca decided it was a good time to murder her boyfriend.
Were you all arguing?
I'm sure we were arguing at the time.
And you're sure because
He always argued every
he was
time.
arguing? Okay. And sometimes you said he got violent, whatever. Did, by any chance, did y'all stop somewhere and he got out? Because it got bad and he wanted to get out? And you said, okay, get out of the car?
No, because I know he wouldn't get out.
So no, y'all didn't stop anywhere, he didn't get out? Because you don't remember, some things I appreciate you remembering the car, the steering wheel and grabbing all that, but that part that comes up to when you got the wheel, and you had the accident, that's the part that I was trying to find out what happened.
That part.
Mm-hmm. Now you guys were arguing, you had an argument, so there's an argument, and he jerks that wheel. But I mean, what caused you to have the accident? What caused you to have the accident? Where did y'all start? Where y'all arguing about it? Where did it start?
To tell you the truth, I don't remember what we were arguing about. All I know is I was right there, and I don't know if it was a red light and I stopped or it was a green light. If I just kept going. And all I remember is, he just grabbed the wheel and turned it, and then that's when I lost control of the car, and I couldn't stop it. I just went straight for it too.
And you're saying he was not out of the car. He had not gotten out of the car before that. Because when you had the crash, you got out and you didn't tell the police anything about Carlos. You didn't, because I understand you say what he wanted, but still, you would want to know if he got hurt or something, right? I mean, you wouldn't know what happened, but you didn't mention anything about Carlos. So, if he was...
See, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. You don't even know when Carlos got out the vehicle, but you knew that you crashed, right? You had a car accident. Carlos is the one who's not here. So that means that he had to get out the vehicle at one point in time. Why are you strategically leaving that point out? When did he get out the vehicle? He's the one who got hit. Nobody else got hit. And then when the police was on the scene, you didn't even mention Carlos. You was just talking about the car accident. So it's weird to me that she really thinks that this play of words and leaving out important details is going to benefit her. It's not. What would have been beneficial for her is for her to be quiet and just speak to her legal counsel going forward, especially having a record in DUI and you was found intoxicated when this incident occurred. But this half talking about he grabbed the wheel from me and he was the one that made me get into a car accident, but it's Carlos is the one who's not here anymore. It's Carlos who is the one who suffered from vehicle manslaughter, right? You know what I'm saying? He's the one who's gone because of this car accident. You can't you cannot, skip over that. That's a whole bunch of the story of the truth that you're skipping over. And then you want to act like you have amnesia about that. You cannot have amnesia about when Carlos got out the vehicle for him to actually get hit by your car, but then remember that Carlos was literally tugging with you to get the wheel. I don't understand where they do that at. I don't know what show they're watching. I don't know who told them that is believable. It's just insane to me. But let's go on. Let's see what else she has to say. And I don't know if y'all can see the video very well, but if you actually look at her, you could tell that she's trying to find something that seems very believable. She is also putting on the persona that she's so guilty and she's so sad and she made a horrible mistake, but she's saying, please don't ask me, anything about Carlos. Please don't ask me about anything in reference to my relationship with Carlos or anything like that. But she's really trying to put something together that makes sense to her or is believable that she quote unquote blacked out due to being drunk the way that she is, because that's what she's saying. She's trying to say, oh, I only remember bits and pieces of certain things, but I was so intoxicated that I didn't even know that I hit someone. I didn't even know that I had a car accident. But you remember that Carlos tried to grab your will, though. Like, go on, girl. Bye, girl.
I figured that after I had the accident that he just ran off.
Well, he would have been in the car with you. Do you remember him running off?
No, I don't. I just remember just crashing, and then when I crashed,
Was he there?
I don't know. It was just kind of like, it was days, and I finally, and he wasn't there.
When did you last remember him being next to you? He jerked the wheel.
See, there's the little break where you jerk the wheel, you have the accident, and all of a sudden,
And then he's gone.
So, what did, at what point did he leave the car?
I don't know. Like I said, I was dazed, and then finally, like when I got out of it, he was gone. Maybe.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was gone before I had the accident.
Mm-hmm. And if he's gone, how do you think what had happened?
Maybe I just crashed on my own, lost control of my car, and just crashed.
But you said maybe he was out of the car before you crashed. Right?
Maybe he was.
Okay, how would that have happened? Did you stop and let him out? Did he say, "Pull over here"?
Because like I said, I don't know.
You guys were arguing, right? So
yeah,
he said,
I don't know.
Get out.
I don't know if I was stopped at a red light or if it was green.
Okay.
Maybe the light was red and he got out and left.
Got out and left. It's possible, right? Now, if you would have got, is it possible? Y'all were arguing, right? So you're thinking, hey, maybe I got me out of the car. He said, let me out. He got out, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So he gets out of the car. What does he do after that?
I don't know.
Does he start walking away in the direction?
I don't know. I just left.
You didn't call him? You didn't call him or anything?
No, because that's when the accident happened, and I didn't have,
So, you think are you saying you think he got out at the intersection? Is that when he got out?
Maybe he did get out at the intersection.
So if he got out at the intersection, then he didn't move.
He didn't do it. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe I did it.
Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you.
What do you think? I mean, you're saying maybe. What do you
Because
think?
I don't fully remember. I don't remember a lot.
Do you have that problem? Have you had issues before where you don't remember things, or is it only when you're drinking?
I do have, I have problem remembering a lot of stuff.
Why is that? Is it
Well, because I think I have the alcohol fetal syndrome.
alcohol what?
Alcohol fetal syndrome.
Where did you get that from? What makes you think that?
Because my mom drank a lot when she was pregnant with me, and then when I was going to rehab, they had told me it was possible that I had that.
When did you go to rehab?
Back in 2017, when I got my second DWI, I was doing the inpatient. The outpatient.
The detectives spend the next few minutes trying to get little pieces of truth out of Rebecca. They need to get her to confess that not only was she driving the car when it struck Carlos, but she was aware of what she was doing. If she intentionally killed Carlos, then she can be charged with murder.
So, as far as you know, Carlos is
just
he's not in the car with you. So he didn't grab the wheel. He didn't grab the wheel then.
Well, why did you suggest that earlier, though? I don't understand.
Well, because he's threatened to do that before.
I know, but he didn't. And go ahead, Rick. No, I'm done.
Like the detective was saying, he didn't. He's done it past, but he didn't do it this time. So it was on you. I mean, you.
Yeah.
And what made you?
So here's the thing, right? She expressed that she possibly had alcohol fetal syndrome. She said that the last time that she went to rehab, that they told her that she possibly had that, and I guess she explained that her mother had a history of being an alcoholic and drinking while she was pregnant. Now, first of all, if that's the case, that should be on record, right? that should be on record that, the mother was suffering from, being an alcoholic, and she was also an alcoholic while pregnant, right? That should be documented. And I find it just weird that now in 2017, when you had to go to rehab, that they would say that. Now, here's the thing. If you do have, or if you are diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome, the reason why people who have that are not recommended to drink any alcohol or consume it is more about an increased risk of health problems, right? They can potentially have permanent brain damage. They do risk of being addicted to alcohol, right? But the main thing is about the health problems that they will have, right? A lot of in cognitive impairments, behavioral problems, physical abilities. So that's why they recommend that if you are diagnosed, that you should not consume alcohol. If she had all this information and she had this for 3 years prior, then why are you continuing to drink alcohol? So you can't sit up here and use this syndrome, that this kind of illness now when you're trying to get out of trouble. But your first DUI, you didn't listen. The second one, you didn't listen. So you didn't even care. So I think that was a whole lie. That was a whole lie. You just trying to use it on FASD. Yeah, shout out, Neil. Thank you. Thank you so much for the abbreviation. Yeah, you trying to use FASD as a reason why you acted in the way that you did now. Also skipping the fact that still don't even remember when your quote unquote boyfriend / first cousin got out of the vehicle so you can hit him. Like, this is crazy. It's crazy. And see, Southern says she's not an infant or a child. Right. That's what I'm saying. So if she was an infant and child, they would have had diagnosed that to about her or her mother doing that to her when she was a child. That would have been already on record. She would not have found out in 2017 as a grown woman that she has the fetal alcoholic syndrome. She would have found out in 2017. She would have found out. She would have been new. She would have been new. That would have been a part of her medical history. Okay? So, yeah, we know that she's just using it as a cop-out. We know that now. And I know that's why the detectives are probably looking at her like, girl, please stop. Stop. You're just not being honest right now. You're not being honest at all. Let's go on. Let's hear what else Tish has to say.
What made you lose control of the car?
I have no idea. I have no idea how I lost control of the car.
Were you angry?
Maybe I was angry.
Yeah, Sophia, I'll be live again probably on Wednesday.
So
Thank you so much, Bruce.
Have you talked to any family since you've been here? You haven't talked to anybody? You talked to your lawyer? No lawyer yet?
No, I haven't talked to anybody yet.
Okay, and have you tried to reach out to Carlos or find out anything about Carlos? Or?
I can't. I don't have nobody's number. I don't know anybody's number. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Did you usually have his number, like on your phone?
Everything's on my phone. Yeah, everyone's number is on my phone, and I usually
find it unusual that you would have mentioned it to the officers that there was. You said that you didn't tell the police officers anything about Carlos because Carlos wasn't with you, correct? Okay, that's where we're at now, right? He had already gotten out of the car. Okay, and when he got out of the car, you don't remember looking for him.
No, I mean, I just remember saying his name, Carlos, Carlos. Mm-hmm. But I didn't go looking for him. I didn't.
You don't remember? But you all were mad at each other. You all were mad. What were you all fighting about?
I don't know. Just about, we always argued about me talking to somebody else and then him talking to somebody else, and that's what we always argued about.
Because you all do have a relationship, so there's a little bit of jealousy going on.
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right. And that's what the argument was about, so.
That's what we always argued about.
He got out of the car and he walked off. You don't remember where he went or anything?
No, I know. Like I said, because it's kind of dark in that area, so.
I don't know if he went that way, if he went, I don't know where he went.
I think you're holding back, Rebecca. I think you're holding back, and if that's what you choose to do,
I'm not holding back. I don't know what.
It just, if you're driving and as you remember things bit by bit, I think you already knew it, but you're just holding back until we ask the right questions.
What do you?
And as far as what happened after Carlos got out of the car, did you call his name? Oh yeah, I called his name. Then all of a sudden it's just, we need to know exactly what happened.
To tell you the truth, I mean, I can't remember every little bit because, I mean, I was, so I can't remember everything. All I remember was I was just at the light. I don't know if it was green or red or what, and I just took off.
Baby girl, it doesn't work like that. You don't just only remember stuff that makes you seem like you was you was innocent and that you didn't mean to run your boyfriend over and that you was just really drunk. Like that's not how that works, right? When they're asking you certain questions, you don't want to answer them. Now all of a sudden is I blacked out, I was drunk and I don't remember. But then when it's things that you want to point out to them to make yourself look, I guess, innocent, or this wasn't like intentful, then you're like, oh, I remember this. I remember he hold the well. I remember, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't work this way. It really doesn't. And she doesn't know that is making her look bad. And eventually these guys are getting, these detectives are being really annoyed with her at this point because they know that she's not being forthcoming. They know that she's withholding information. And I do believe that they can kind of sense that she was well aware and she was not as drunk as she's trying to make herself seem that she was drunk that day. So they're just trying to find out whether if she hit him on purpose or it was actually just an accident, and truthfully, the way how she keeps on going with things, I don't think it was an accident at all. I don't think it was an accident at all. Let's see. The return to royalty. What's this case about? Okay, so this is about a woman who seems to be an alcoholic and she ran over her boyfriend / first cousin. And we were just reviewing her interrogation. Let's see. See, sir, what I'm trying to do is lie as much as yes, exactly. That's exactly what she's doing. Oh, yeah, definitely. I hope you enjoyed the commentary, Ernie, and, come back and visit us sometime. Hi, MJ and gang. I was just scrolling, came upon this live, co-signing. Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, shout out to you, sir. I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for stopping by. And yes, blessings to you, the return of royalty. I appreciate you. All right, let's go on.
And I lost control of the car, and I wrecked. And I don't know if he was or wasn't in the car at the time, but I know when I wrecked, he wasn't there.
The detectives believe that Rebecca remembers exactly what she did, but she is in a state of denial and refuses to admit what she has done. It's also possible that she was so drunk, she doesn't remember hitting Carlos, and until the detectives jog her memory, she doesn't know he is dead. As the viewer, what are your thoughts on this case? Please share them in the comments below.
We're having trouble understanding this, and I really think you're holding back. And if we can't make
maybe he was in the car, and then after I wrecked, he was gone.
But you said a little while ago that he wasn't in the car.
Because I don't remember. I don't remember. You're asking me something that I don't remember. Like, I don't remember. If I could remember and if I know, I would tell you all the truth, but I don't remember. All I remember is just going and just crashing. But we always fought, we always argued, and I don't know, maybe he did get out of the car and he wasn't in there, or maybe he was in the car when I crashed and he got out. But I think maybe he was already out because when I crashed, the door wasn't even opened for him to get out. So I'm thinking maybe he was already out because the door was closed, and I don't think he would get out and then close the door.
Is there a chance that maybe once he got out and you try to find where he was at, maybe you went in the direction he walked?
I didn't leave the scene at all.
No, what I mean is when he, well, from what you're describing, is he was out of the car when you left the intersection.
Tell him, Flower.
Okay, is there a chance that maybe because he was out of the car that maybe you went looking for him, or you drove in the direction he was walking? Is there a chance of that?
I don't know. Maybe I did go looking for him. And I just wasn't paying attention. But I don't think I went looking for him. I don't know. This is just so confusing. I was so.
Okay. What charges did it tell you?
See, the charges. She told me it was DWI.
Did it tell you about intoxication and manslaughter?
No, she told me DWI. And then when I looked at my car, I didn't see like that I would have hit somebody.
What made you think about hitting somebody?
That's what the judge said.
The judge said you hit somebody? Did the judge?
Well, the attorney who came to talk to me before I saw the judge. I asked her, I was like, intoxicating manslaughter. She said, yeah, did I hit somebody?
Okay. And did you ask her who you hit?
Yeah, I go, who did I hit? And she just like, well, I don't know who you hit, but you hit somebody. And I'm just like, I was just like, I'm just like, I don't know.
And you understand what the term means, involuntary or intoxication manslaughter?
No, I don't know.
We are almost at 6,000, bro.
How far did you go in school?
I was doing both 10th and 11th grade at the same time.
Oh, which school did you go to?
Alamo Heights.
The detectives are about to reveal that not only did she hit Carlos, but he is also no longer alive.
You just told me right now that the lawyer told you hit somebody.
Yeah.
So
I was not aware of that.
Now you're aware of that, though.
I
guess.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was drunk.
Yes.
You do know.
And we believe it's Carlos. Carlos is the one that we found.
What?
So that's why we're asking you if Carlos was in the car with you or was the opposite. Now.
And that's why we want to get your version of it. We want to know what happened.
You can't tell me I hit him.
Absolutely, I have a strong team behind me. We are at.
Oh my God! I don't.
Shout out to y'all.
But that's what we're trying to get to that's what we're trying to find out.
Trying to get to the bottom of it. And we need to know.
Is he okay?
No, he's not okay. He passed away. I'm pretty sure that your lawyer told you these
I haven't
charges.
spoke to my lawyer. I haven't spoke to anybody.
No, you just told us that the lawyer told you hit somebody.
This lady is driving me insane. You just told them that you spoke to a lawyer when you saw the judge who came to you and told you that it was vehicle manslaughter, not just DUI. I can understand if the police were saying that it was a DUI incident on the scene, but once you got to the judge and you received legal counsel, they informed you that it was vehicle manslaughter. Not once did you ever think about Carlos, your boyfriend, first cousin. You never thought about him. You act like you didn't know that he got out the car. But you remember that he was trying to get the wheel from you when you was driving at the street light. Like, this is insane. And how do you just say this to the detective that they told you, you finally found out that it was vehicle manslaughter because you hit someone, but then you said, no one talked to me. I didn't speak to nobody. You just lied right there. Lady was wrong. You cannot still be drunk right now. You cannot still be drunk right now. They're speaking to you of conscious and clear and concise. You're very concise when you want to talk about, you just thought it was just a regular DUI accident and you didn't think that it was that bad, and Carlos grabbing the wheel. You was very clear when mentioning that. Everything else that they asked you, it was I don't know, I have no idea. I was drunk. I don't know, selective memory. And you just really did it in real time within 5 minutes apart. You told them that someone told you that it was vehicle manslaughter, and then you just said, nobody told me anything. Girl, I just can't. I just can't. It's really like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're just making yourself look bad. And did y'all see that moment of fake crying, fake distraught, that she heard that she actually, killed someone and it's possibly Carlos? She didn't share one freaking tear or nothing. She's sitting up there like, like doing that. That's like the first emotion that she pretended to even care about Carlos. Outside of the whole entire time, she has this puppy dog face about, please give me another chance. I would never drink again. Please. I know I had 2 DUIs and I shouldn't be drinking because I have fetal alcohol syndrome. They told me that back in 2017 when I went to rehab, but please let me get a 3rd or 4th chance, please. It's sad. Oh, thank you so much, Thorburn. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a lovely evening or morning, sir. Thank you for rocking out with us, and we'll see you on the next one. I hope you come back. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's go on, guys. This is sad. This is really sad because she really think the puppy dog eyes is gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Gosh.
So you spoke to a lawyer, and I'm sure there's a female lawyer. You said that she explained to you the charges, what you were being charged with, why you were arrested, and that's where the manslaughter comes from. It's from someone was killed because of you having that accident. And Carlos is the one that was found at the scene deceased.
What the? Where was he?
Not far from where you were at.
Like where I crashed? Where?
Yes. Yes.
How could I have hit him?
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get everything in order to find out exactly how it happened, where it happened.
Oh my God.
And
see, now I don't know. I'm confused. I'm so fucking confused right now. I don't understand how I hit him. I don't know. What does this mean now?
It's been explained to you already as far as your charges go, and that's why you're being held here. You were told you hit somebody. You were described. They described the offense to you, and we're trying to get your side of the story, your version of the events of what happened. So, if there's something you can tell us.
I don't know why he would even get out.
You know what now?
I don't know why he would get out.
You just said you argued over it.
You're telling me I killed him?
Right.
Unfortunately, yes.
How? I ran over him? I hit him?
Yes. And I'm condolences. I'm sorry for that. Sorry to have to tell you that. But your cooperation will go a long way if you choose to, or if there's a chance you
knew that you hit him.
You were waiting for us to ask the right questions.
Disturbing to me, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what question.
That's what's very disturbing to me. Like, I can understand that you probably didn't know that you unalived him, but you knew that you hit him. You knew that you hit him. And to pretend and say, how? I don't know. How did that happen? It's just like, just stop already. Okay, they know that you was behind the wheel. They know that you hit him with your car. You just admitted that y'all argue all the time. You already admitted that, you was sexing and smexing, smashing your first cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, You already got caught with a DUI, and this is your third time being being caught with a DUI, but now this ended up being a vehicle manslaughter. It's just like she's wasting their time, and she's also wasting her time. This whole I'm innocent and I just need another chance. I know I made a mistake, and you even right now you still don't even care that Carlos is gone. You didn't care. You didn't ask about him in the beginning, but you knew that you was in a car with him. You got in such a horrible accident, but you wasn't even concerned about the supposed boyfriend of yours in the vehicle, whether or not if he was harmed or not. You didn't ask one question about him until they brung him up right now. And that's a very alarming, because that is supposed to be your boyfriend, right? You're supposed to have feelings and be in love with him and have butterflies and all the stuff like that. And not once was you concerned at all. Let's go on. It's just sad. Like, if she really thinks that this is helping her, and it's not. It's not helping her at all. She needs to go ahead and admit it. Or you go ahead and play it in court and try to play, temporary insanity, or, under the influence, blacking out and all. You can go ahead and try to play that if you want to.
To ask you, because only you were there at the scene. We're coming in after the fact. We're trying.
I don't know, how did I hit him?
You hit him with the car.
How?
He was apparently out of the car and on
She's
a
in her
sidewalk.
early 30s. Yeah, 3
From the
DUIs.
position you were at, from the evidence at the scene, shows that you drove across 3 lanes of traffic, struck him, and then right
Where though? Where?
where you remember where the car ended
I
up?
remember where I crashed.
Where you crashed. That's where.
What is
about
this
family
now?
secrets, boy?
Where you charged it.
It's the same charges for now. We're just here to see what you remember, what you can help us with. But if you want to,
I mean, I'm trying to remember as
Hey,
much as
Leah, how are you doing? I hope you had a good Monday today, sir.
I'm not trying to hold nothing back.
if you, Carlos here is a victim. Okay, you don't want to victimize him any more than what it is. We certainly don't want to put him at fault for anything. So, if you remember, and you want to clear things up, the detective's got to.
I mean, I want to clear everything up. I do want to clear everything up. I don't want to.
We want to give you a chance to do that.
I don't want.
But if you don't remember, we're not going to take much. We're not going to take your time here. Not to sound bad, but waiting for you to remember. We can't do that. We only have a certain amount of time here. Really.
So what does this mean? Am I gonna go to prison? Am I?
Well, I don't know. We'll go to trial. Your lawyer will contact you with that, and you'll discuss this with you.
I don't believe it.
So if you should remember what happened.
I mean, I'm telling you what I remember. That's all I remember. I don't remember anything else.
All right. Well, then we'll go ahead and we'll take that then. We'll take that. You don't remember him being killed from the crash.
I can't believe I fucking killed.
Maybe with a little bit more time and memory, will come back to you. And
I mean, remember what? What you want?
the incident, and that happens with people. The memories, a funny thing. I by no means know enough to tell you what you're going to remember in 3 days.
Am I gonna go to jail for life?
They don't know. That's not for us here.
That's why we want to hear. We need to hear what your version was, whether the whole truth, basically. Because as I mentioned before, we're doing an investigation, so we're gonna have evidence, we're gonna have proof. We've got video, we've got electronic means to search for evidence. So it's pretty much established that you were driving a vehicle that hit Carlos, but we can put humanize the situation by saying, giving your version of the story. If not,
I don't remember hitting him at all.
you remember looking for him?
Yes. I just remember when I got in the car, I was just yelling out his name. Just yelling out his name. And I just figured he left because, he was wanted.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Rebecca. It's kind of unusual, and it's from the position you left the red light to where Carlos was. It was a pretty good distance. Well, it was a long enough distance to give us the impression that maybe you were driving toward him.
I know my intention was not to hit him.
And it probably wasn't.
I
And
know
maybe
that.
there was a reason you accelerated or didn't hit the brakes or whatever. But from our side, from the proof we have and the evidence we have, it shows that you left an intersection a couple of 100 yards away, and there's that one person walking on the sidewalk all by himself, and that you drive up all that distance and then you just happen to run into him. So
Yeah, she should.
it could happen, but it's not very logical.
Yeah, she did go after him.
I wouldn't even consider
Absolutely. That's why she
given a
was quoting his
percentage
name.
of a chance.
So that he got out.
It's a 1 in a million chance that you're gonna run across somebody that you didn't realize.
I didn't.
But I'm not suggesting that. I'm not saying that that's what happened. But
My
you see,
intention was just not.
can you see it from our point of view though? Can you see how we're what the evidence we have in front of us, and then you're telling us you don't remember, but then these things are coming out as we ask the right question, which in my mind makes me think that you're not going to tell us anything until we ask the right question.
Yeah.
And we don't know what other question to ask you other than, did you, what were angry at Carlos and you had been arguing?
I mean, we always argue.
Were you mad enough to
I was-
drive by him and try to pick him up maybe?
Maybe I was trying to pick him up. Let's go home.
Are you remembering this now, or?
I mean, that's the only thing because I mean, I loved him, and I know we argued, and I know we did.
Yo, she is so wicked. She is in such a desperation mode, and now she is trying to say, "Oh, I probably just went to go pick him up. I love him. I wanted to hurry up and get him in the car." Man, for almost an hour, you trying to say that you don't even remember anything. The only thing you remember that he tried to pulled the wheel from you. You didn't even remember he got out of the car. And now you want them to believe that, oh, now it's coming back now. Yeah, I try to pick him up. I love him. I would never hit him on purpose. You literally jumped the whole sidewalk. Let's go. Let's finish this up.
But not to do that. Not to hurt him like that. Not to hurt him like that. Not to love him.
Well, and if it was an accident, it was an accident. But like I said, evidence going to show, and we could have your version of it. It would help clear up a lot of things. And you remember seeing him on the sidewalk when you left the intersection?
I don't.
It's just rare. I mean, to me, it's not making sense, to be honest with you. And I'm not trying to be.
I mean, I want it to make sense because I don't want it.
Yeah. That is from our point of view in our investigation. I know it's a lot to take in, but you need to.
It was meant to be fun, whatever. I mean, I didn't want him dead. I didn't want to kill him.
I believe you.
So.
You didn't want him dead. You just wanted to scare him.
I didn't want nothing. I didn't want to scare him. I just wanted to go home. We're cruising downtown. Just having a good time, and then. We always argue, we always fall, but it was never to the point where I wanted to hurt him.
You said there wasn't a point?
There wasn't. Okay. There was never no point. I never wanted to hurt him. I can't believe I fucking killed him. He was my best friend.
That's why we were asking if you remember what what happened, what y'all were doing before the accident.
I'm getting so sick and tired of her fake crying and her fake emotional stunt for Carlos. You was mad at Carlos. Carlos jumped out the vehicle. Y'all was arguing. You was driving crazy. He was like, "You crazy lady. I'm getting away from you." And you was like, "Get your, your ASS back here." And you sped up on him and you hit him. You did. You sped up on him and you hit him. And sit up here talk about he's my best friend. And like, if that was the case, you would have mentioned, hey, do y'all know about Carlos? Carlos is my boyfriend. He was in a vehicle with me when this incident occurred. You would have asked the detective, did they know about his whereabouts an hour and 30 minutes ago? You wait now when they tell you, they ask you questions about Carlos, and they also tell you that you have vehicle manslaughter, on top of Carlos no longer being alive. He's the victim. Now all of a sudden is this range of emotions where like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That was my best friend. Yeah, we argued all the time, but I would never hurt him. It's crazy. That's really sad.
We're just riding around, drinking, having a good time. And, yeah, we fought, we argued.
And then at that intersection, you don't remember him getting out?
Did he get out? He said he did. I mean, which one fought?
Because every time we fought and argued, he would never leave. He never got out of the car. We would just fight, argue, and then
All right.
and we would just go home. That was it.
After the interrogation took place, prosecution upgraded her charges to murder because they believed that she intentionally killed Carlos. This led us to believe that at some point after the interview, Rebecca spoke with the police again, and she was able to recall what happened. In the end, Rebecca would accept a plea deal, which meant the charges were reduced back to manslaughter, and she would receive 20 years in prison. Please share your thoughts on this case in the comments below.
Rebecca was doing the most. Rebecca, you was definitely doing the most, young lady. You hit that man because you was angry and you was a drunk. And you didn't like the fact that he walked away from you. He didn't want to be bothered with you, and you hit him. But in your mind, you didn't think that you hit him that bad. You just thought that you was just going to scare him and run him off the road, but you actually hit him. And then you spent all this time with the detectives pretending like you didn't know that you hit someone and that you didn't know that you hit Carlos. You didn't care about this dude. You never cared about this dude, especially in this situation. You was only concerned about yourself the whole entire time. The puppy dog eyes, the sad eyes, the woe is me, give me another chance. I need a fourth chance to do this right. I got fetal alcohol syndrome. I got a disability. Please show mercy on me. You used everything in the book to try to, to save yourself. And in the end, this guy lost his life. But first of all, you shouldn't have not even been dealing with your first cousin. I don't care what anybody say. I know in certain areas and certain religions and all that stuff, that's fine. But that's just weird to me. There's more than enough men in the world for you to be having to go to somebody's cookout or go to the newest quinceañera and go smashing your first cousin. Like we got to stop that. All right. That there's a lot of spiritual stuff going on over there that like I don't know what's going on. But yes, it's really insane, and I'm really sad that happened to that guy. And I mean, look, she took a plea deal, right? Because they did charge it to murder, and then she was like, "No, you know what? I don't think I want to do murder. I don't want to do life in prison. Probably parole after doing 21 years. I don't want that. Let me just go ahead and just say, yeah, I'm guilty. Go with the manslaughter and take the 20." All right, guys. So I would normally do 3 cases, but it's getting kind of late. Here it is. It's 9 o'clock on the Eastern time. and your girl got to get up early in the morning and go to the range and go qualify. So I'm going to bid you guys farewell, and y'all have a lovely night. Just make sure you hit the like button when you're heading out. Enjoy the rest of your night. Share this out to anybody who liked this type of commentary. And I just want to appreciate every single one of you guys that was talking in the chat and being immersive, having your own dialogues, as well as speaking about the cases that we're going through. Y'all make the channel worthwhile, what I always wanted, just collective minds, collective thoughts. And remember, you can, you don't have to believe me. You can disagree with me. The only rules of the chat is, as long as you are respectful, you're cordial, and you keep it cute, everyone is welcome. Outside of that, you're not welcome. I don't need you here. Have a good life and take care, right? And good riddance. And like I said, everyone, again, the people who celebrate Memorial Day, shout out to my veterans, shout out to my military people. Happy Veterans Day if I don't see you guys. Shout out to my sailors. It's Fleet Week in New York. It's about to get popping. My sailors, please be on your best behavior. Don't go out there making us look crazy, okay? I hope so. But until then, everyone, take care. Take care. Take care. I will probably go live again on Wednesday, so look out for the notification, okay? Talk to you later, everyone. Bye-bye.